Hello Pixies and welcome back. As promised, we're going to be doing a video about Spy today. Specifically, this one is going to be about Lua Spy. I thought about including like some of the other more asked about spy missions in this video as well, but I figured we'd just focus on one at a time and we can maybe make like a series out of the more asked about spy missions. So after this one, I know I have Uranus Spy and Cuba Spy on my list, but if there is another spy like maybe Jupiter that you'd like to see me complete, or even some of the more general ones, because every spy is actually pretty straightforward if you know the routes. So, once you know the routes, then really and truly spy isn't that difficult. However, Lua Spy in particular is different because it is the only one that really has the most, shall we say, abstract methodology. And that's because it utilizes a unique system that is both in the present and in the past. And these two maps coincide simultaneously, and depending on which Void Rift portal you go through, can dramatically change your approach. So, what we're going to do is show my personal favorite loadout and frame. Obviously, we're using Limbo again. Y'all already know I think he's great for pretty much anything, whether it's damage, whether it's defense, whether it's support, and apparently now also spy. And there's a few reasons for that, which we'll get into. Reason one is that Limbo by himself has Rift Walk, which is his passive, which means that he is undetectable by things like lasers in the physical plane as long as he is in the Rift. And this is super handy when 90% of the trials of the Lua Spy mission is in fact going to be laser based. There are a few cameras and that's where the actual build components come in, but for the most part, you're just going to be rocking through lasers, and Limbo makes it super easy. You don't have to worry about timing or anything. And this is my usual spy loadout on Limbo. It is just, mostly duration is really the most important thing, as that is what we will be using to occasionally use our perspicacity, and this makes it so that it doesn't despawn. Not that I'm overly concerned with that. Perspicacity is a helmet ability that you get at rank 3 that allows you to auto-hack without a mod or without a cipher, but using energy instead. And fun fact is an ability that allows you to auto-hack in sorties, since sorties will deny you access to ciphers. Again, we'll be looking at this build again later when we do some of the other spy missions and other videos, but I figured we can just go over it now and explain some of the basics of spy without going too deeply into the nitty-gritty of the build. If you don't have perspicacity because you don't have helmet or you don't have the resources to level up your helmet, you can use all the old-fashioned methods such as just hacking old school or using ciphers. The second component of the build that is relevant is going to be the Parazon. I've created a loadout that is specific to hacking, at least to me, and that is by using the Untraceable Parazon mod, which turns you invisible for 15 seconds after hacking. Auto Breach, just in case I happen to not be using Limbo, but I 90% of the time do, so you can switch this out for something else if you want. Perhaps the Failsafe, which gives you a 50% chance to retry on hacking, or something else if you have something else that you'd rather fit in here. Perhaps a more offensive-oriented Parazon mod like Hard Reset if you wanted to just revive a Sentinel, or Hit and Run, which would give you parkour speed. And finally, and this is the part that is most important for spies, Runtime. This gives you plus 75% sprint speed for, again, 15 seconds after hacking. Now, to move on to the 3 vaults. There are only 3 vaults in Lua Spy, A, B, and C. A and B will occasionally flip between which one is A and which one is B, but C will always remain the same and be the most complicated one. A and B both have very straightforward methods, and I'll show you the quickest way to go about doing so with my setup. C will be the most complicated, and I'll try my best to do it slowly enough that people can follow along. But part of the reason we're doing this in a video format is that it is definitely the most complicated one, and explaining the back and forth between the present and the past can be kind of complicated, so we'll just have it as a video and y'all can hopefully follow along that way so you can memorize these routes for yourselves. But Lua Spy is actually one of my favorite modes in the map, so approach this with an open mind. It's not nearly as complicated as it looks like when you first go into it, and I hope that by doing these videos, you can grow to enjoy the subtleties of Lua Spy as well. So let's get started. Okay, so welcome to the first vault. This is going to be the spinning vault, and I know this because we have a hacking console here to start with. So for this vault, we're only going to need to go through, well, one portal to get to the hacking vault. So as you can see, I just jumped from this entrance up to this upper floor where we have this carousel of lasers, and utilizing Limbo's rift, we completely ignore their detection and will slip through the portal that is at the bottom of this room here. And this is the only portal we'll have to go through in order to get to this vault. So we step into the past utilizing that portal. There's no way to return until we get to the vault. So utilizing Limbo's rift, we're just gonna quickly slip and slide through here. Like so. Jump up and walk up this staircase and step on this platform. I like to use my operator and just dash through here, which, I mean, you have to have at least the second dream done. So some form of an operator will be available to you. But if not, you can always just walk. The thing that is most complicated about Lua Spies is the fact that since there are so many entry points, there's so many different ways to go about these routes. For instance, the second vault, which I'm about to do, can be done, to my knowledge, at least 3 different ways. And technically probably more if you mix and match them even more than I had done in the past. So second vault is B, and this one will require you to use 2 portals, though one of them will be used twice, and that is the first portal. So clicking this button, we have opened the gate, and we're going to go through this portal right here. Because as you can see, there's no way to go further right now. So we're going to go to the past, and by utilizing the past, we're going to now open this doorway. Now, we don't care about doing this the actual way, so we're going to keep it nice and easy and head back to the present. So, you interact by breaking this portal open again and slipping through the rift. Once going through here, as you can see, you have opened this doorway. For this next portion, we are just going to parkour our way all the way around. Usually people think, oh, I have to go through this portal over here. No. And by over here, I mean right there. You can see. This is the way that I used to do it, but there's an easier way to go about it that ignores the more parkour elements. So, if we continue to traverse, we just find ourselves in this root area. Now, we want to go up, and again, utilizing Limbo's rift, we ignore these electric procs and the lasers, and we slip into this corridor that is sort of hidden in the background. Here is the second portal that we're going to need to use. The console is here, but it's broken, so we'll go into the past and find the console. I'm going to utilize perspicacity for this one. And that's all you have to do. So this is the part that you're probably going to want to slow things down a little bit, but let me know in the comments down below if you do any of these vaults differently. If you think that you have a way that's easier, feel free to let me know. So welcome to Vault C. Vault C, we start by breaking this button to open this doorway. Here, we'll see a void rift into the past. Gonna do it old school and use a cipher. Or actually, we're gonna use our Parazon. There's this thing. Fun fact, you can break this. This being the weird Oregon chandelier thing. Now, as we head back to the present, we can slip through the floor in a lovely little way to skip some of the stuff that we'd have to do in the past. Note that this isn't really faster or easier per se, it's just a different way that involves a little bit less hacking. But we're going to mix it up, so that's the way we're going to go. By breaking this corridor, we can now skip directly through to the next stage. We're going to use the upper little hidey hole and slip on downstairs in the past and warp over this gap into this room right here. We're going to now utilize this void rift to go into the past again. Here, we have an exploding canister. And as you noticed with the first area, things that we destroy in the past will have effects in the present. So, by exploding that canister in the past, we've made it so that it decayed further enough in the present that we can now walk through here. Be careful of lasers if you're not using Limbo. Just gonna do some looty things. Thank you. Now we're gonna ignore this portal. Ignore this entire room, because I hate it. Though it is an option if you want to be a masochist. We're gonna slip through here. And gonna slip right through here. Now, if you're not using Limbo, you're gonna want to activate that button. Otherwise, just stand here. And slip through the gates. And this will be more or less the final section. We're going to want to activate this hack. Activate that button. And then slide ourselves into the past, the present as well. We teleported that exploding canister from the past into the present. And now we're going to blow it up to break this wall. This wall is now broken. And we're almost to where we want to go, which is the past and the vault. And this is the music challenge that we skipped because we didn't want to do it. And by blowing up this canister, you see we have a room full of loot. So fun secret room if you ever want to use it. That's what happens when you blow up that canister there. Busts up this wall and allows you to get access to this room. And you're at the final vault. And you just hack it. Like so. And that's it. And hopefully this will help you out in the future or maybe the past, like Lua. Either way, there are so many different routes. I even did a route that I usually don't take for Lua Spy myself for Vault C. So, whatever works for you, I do hope this will lead you in the right direction and give you a good starting point for your Lua Spy runs for whatever grinding needs you may have. And maybe you just enjoyed it. Maybe you will just grow to enjoy it like myself. I thought this was a really fitting video, what with the 10-0 10-0 Olympics, which you can check out every week for the next 2 weeks on any of our channels on Twitch, such as my own. So you should definitely follow us there and check us out. Root for Cephalon Suda. I know I am, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks again for watching and supporting. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If there are any other spies that you'd like to see that I didn't mention doing videos for, let me know in the comments. And, of course, redeem our wonderful Queendom Glyph made by the amazing Sillfix in Warframe today. And show your pixie pride, your pixie love, and be royalty. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, pixies.